Yeah, well, this is you don't have to say. Very little said. This is a game that's very, very important to. It's the most important game to our fan base, the most important game to our coaches and our staff and everyone. So there's not much needs to be said. Just going to work, preparing to win.
Coach, how do you look at passion, energy, and still staying in focus and control in such an intense rivalry?
Yeah, I mean, the key is to is you can't you can't be different every week. One of the things gives me a lot of confidence is the way our guys. I think there's 3 games that our guys have played on the road that they had laser focus, and it shows you kind of the maturity of our guys. 2014 USC, where we beat them, and 2013 UCLA, where we clinched the Pac-12 South, and this Oregon trip. These guys were laser focused. It's the first time probably since I've been here. I always walk up and ask our strength coach, Coach Grizz. I'll say, "Hey, you think these guys are ready?" So I just, I do that every game, and I didn't ask. Our guys were really, really dialed in and focused, and then there's no doubt in my mind they will be this week. So it's not like I give a, we have values from which we go by and we live by in our program, and that creates consistency. And so what you want is consistency. And obviously there's unique challenges every week, and there's definitely some this week. So you have to make sure that you prepare to adapt to what you have to face that week.
Coach, speaking of those challenges, Khalil Tate being one of them, kind of just avant-garde player. We saw Oregon stop him just a couple days ago. But how do you come back and kind of handle someone like Khalil Tate?
Well, the big thing is you go into any game plan, you have to take away what the other team does best. And sometimes that's a big challenge, especially when you're dealing with very, very talented players. And so, the key is just using, what our fundamentals that we teach in our systems and adapt. And then you learn from different teams, different things. But you can't have the flavor of the week either. You can't just invent something every week. You got to do what you do and do it well. But you do have to adapt. And so that's a big part of formulating a game plan to stop their best player. Just like on offense, we're trying to exploit their getting our best guys the ball and their less guys, and so that's the kind of the chess match and all that. And then the intangibles is what's in the hearts and minds of your players. But he's definitely a special player. What were those? What were those differences?
But he said that there's nobody he'd rather be his head coach.
Oh, well, thank you.
Program over the past 4 years.
Oh well, he's been awesome. I told him the other day. I was just reflecting. My wife and I spent a lot of time talking these last few weeks, and you always can tell, the seniors, and just it kind of hits them about 2 to 3 weeks before pretty hard. But I remember going and doing every one of their home visits, and obviously I remember going to Tayshawn's house and getting to meet his family, and his mom and his dad are special, special people. And what an incredible kid. It's been a great honor to coach him as well as the other seniors. But to see him grow, to see him come, and really he's grown into a man and a fine man, and a man with great character. And so it's like a family atmosphere. That's why I enjoy coaching these guys. I can't think of a year I've had more fun because of there's not been any drama. These guys go to work every day and they bust their tail and do a great job for me. I don't have anything to say about that. Yeah. Yeah, it's Territorial Cup. That is the most important game, and we emphasize that. There's a clock in our there's everything about when you walk through our building. There's only one team that has special things for them. Everything else is about winning the Pac-12 championship, and so this is Obviously for us to win this game and get the Territorial Cup back is the #1 priority for us and for our players. And our guys are not kind of, but are measured by this. I've had the privilege to meet a lot of the former players going way back. And the ones that get it done in this game talk about it. And the ones that don't like talking about it. And so it's something you have to. I can tell you, I've been on both sides of it, and there's only one option. I just there's nothing more miserable than losing this game. So I don't spend much time thinking about that. I've spent, you spend a lot of time over the off season with a bad taste in your mouth about it. But obviously, our focus is on. There's so much to do to prepare, and there's so many challenges. You don't spend much time thinking about that. But this is all about the 2017 football team and getting it done. And you don't even have to mention what it means to get it done. The first thing you got to do to get it done is win this game. So that's how our guys are measured. And I've talked to a lot of former players that have done great things, set records, been to Rose Bowls, won Rose Bowls, and all of them talk about this game and how significant it is. Every time it starts this week. Great privilege I had spending time with Coach Cush, and he always showed up this week and made sure to let me know how important. He made sure I knew the history of it. He made sure he knew the struggles of the referendum and all the things with that went on back in the 50s when that was going on, and then how important it is to win this game. So this is one, and this is what I love about being involved in college football is games like this is what college football is all about. So
from your experience, what are some of the things in your opinion that makes this rivalry so special?
I think the deep-rooted passion that's in every fan that I've met. There's not I've never been and spoke anywhere, whether it be all over the country or anywhere I meet fans, that this game's not mentioned. So it's something that and coaches. I know former coaches that have coached here. I know former coaches that have coached down south, and they all talk about this game.
What are some of the challenges that come when you face a quarterback who's good at running the ball so that
It's pretty obvious. He's very, very dynamic. He is, the thing you can't lose sight of is how efficient they are with their tailbacks, and they are definitely a dominant running football team, but he does a great job of extending plays as well, and he throws the ball extremely accurate downfield. He's a complete package, so he's got a lot of challenges. And you have to, be very adaptive to what our guys can execute to make sure you keep him contained. Means a lot to them. Means a lot to the guys. You only get one time to do it. As a coach, you're very fortunate. You get to, do it every year. I can tell you I love coaching, but man, it wasn't like playing. And I love playing, every person in this room that has participated and played and competed. There's just nothing like being in the arena, and especially in the football arena, the physicality, the rigor that it takes, the toughness, the mental toughness, the ups and downs of these kids, the injuries and coming back from injuries, and just all kinds of challenges, and it goes by so fast. It really jumps on them fast. So it's something that's and I really try to emphasize to our coaches how important it is that this is every one of these kids. They get 4 years to play. They can redshirt, but they only get 4 years to play, and that we max it out for them, and especially the guys that are going. This is their 4th year. This is their last year, because you know, they're going to remember this. They'll remember this the rest of their life, and that's something that's very, very important. And we're maxing out every moment we can, and this is the last time the 2017 Sun Devils will play in this stadium, and in a big game, and a game that means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Finish second. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we've had. I think we've made tremendous progress. I know as a staff, man, it's been a lot of fun getting to build these guys, and couldn't be more proud of the job that they've done. You look at the things that we've done, and the teams that we've beaten, and the progress that we made. I think it has been very impressive. I'm most proud of our players and what our players have done, and their patience in dealing with that. That's never easy to have, you know, new people and new things. And I kind of feel like we're playing our best football, you know. And you know, we're really proud of the leadership on this team. I'm really proud of Manny. I think he's really grown and progressed, and it's his football team. I mean, I think he's thrown 4 interceptions. I think that leads the country. I mean, the guy's done a tremendous job of managing the game, and just really, you know, being a guy that you know, epitomizes what we're trying to do as a program. Guys like Demario Richards and DJ Calhoun, their leadership. And I guess the thing I like about all 3 of those guys, they don't say much. They don't say much at all. They just by example. And so, you know, that's something that I think we've grown. I've seen tremendous growth in guys like, and I like seeing that in their best players. You know, guys like Demario that I think have really, I mean, had a tremendous year, not just for him individually, but what he's meant for our football team, and DJ the same way. It's just different. I don't know. You know, obviously, I'm trying to think back on last year. We had so many injuries and so many things like that. That kind of plagued your thought process and things like that. You know, we've been, you know, pretty healthy this year. We've lost some key guys, obviously Marcus Ball and Crump and Joey Bryant, and you know, we've had some losses, but you know, it wasn't to the magnitude of that. So it's just been very different. It's very different, and then I guess, you know, just the mindset's different. I think we're a very confident team coming in, and a team that is very close. And not that we weren't last year. It was just that the difference would be kind of all the things that kind of maligned, and you have so many different lineups, so many different people and things like that, which is kind of, you know, disrupts your continuity, I guess is how I would describe the difference. And this year we've got continuity, and we've got solid direction. Well, I love playing right here. You know, we've had a tremendous home record here, and this is a great, I mean, it's just absolutely just, there's no place like it. So it's pretty special. And I love the fact that our seniors are getting to have, you know, their last game, senior day, on this field and in this game. And that's why, you know, I just really, I like that they make this game the last game of the year, because I think it's where rival games are to be. You know, I mean, enjoy it. You know, just maximize every snap. Even though I'm old man, I can remember looking at the clock. I turned around and looked at the clock my senior year and watching it, you know, tick down from 13 seconds all the way down. And you know, you don't, until it's over, you don't realize how precious it is to you. And so I just tell them to max every moment. He would talk to me a whole lot about his record and kind of how he got it done, and you know, there was only one way to do it.
What would he say to you now?
He'd say the same thing, you know, and you can't argue with it. He flat got it done in this game, and you know, the first 2 years I was here, you know, we won. I think we won in 12 and 13, and I never really understood, because he would just tell me just how awful. Just and that would be the PG version of how he described how awful it was to lose this game. And then I got to experience that in 2014, and I realized, I kind of realized what he was talking. You don't realize it until after you experience it. But you know, he was in a lot of the things that he talked about were I think are exactly right. Whether you know a Hall of Fame coach like that that's won that many games, you know, he had great wisdom about consistency and how to win consistently, and he was actually, you know, very accurate. He's been very accurate. All the things he's told me have been correct.
What positives do you take away from the winning football last on Saturday, and how can they translate this week into the territory?
You know, this is a game where rival games are. It doesn't really matter, you know, what you did last week or last month, or you know, you sure like to come in playing your best football. You sure like to come in and be healthy and be ready to go, because this game is going to be a game that every year there's, you know, common factors that you guys probably get tired of me saying, but turnover ratio and explosive plays are real critical in this game, and whoever's won the turnover ratio wins this game every year. Mm-hmm. We were just we had a script and a plan that we were using, and that's what we were doing. We have Coach Napier has a specific script every week, and so that's what he that's why he wanted to do it, and that's what he did. What stands out the most about DeMario is his senior year. You know, he is, I mean, to come in here and start as a true freshman is hard to do. Man, he has been I mean, before this year, he was already a very good running back and a guy that legitimately and statistically has been one of the better running backs to play here. I think he's in the top 10 or so, or 12, which is a challenge to do, but really he just really matured this year, and just really poured into his teammates, and I've just got a unique. It just creates. That's what I love about football. It just creates you a unique relationship when you go through the grind, and what these kids go through. It's hard, man. I mean, and it's really hard here because, you know, we ask these players academically to perform differently than I think's probably been the standard in the past. Not to knock anybody in the past, but you know, this is a 3.0 football team. These guys, you know, they're studying and they're competing in the classroom. They're not just passing in the classroom, and it's probably one of the hardest things they do. I know the guys go to the NFL and they'll come back and go like, "Man, coach, it is so much easier because you don't have all the class and all the things that you have to do." And so, but I've just been. It just creates a unique relationship, and you know, I really like that. Like I woke up this morning and my phone blows up with all the former players. You know, that's how you know texting me about this week and how important this week is, and you know they're going to be cheering for us. And make sure you tell those guys how important this week is. And you know, I like that. I like that. You know, DeMario and I have a special relationship, and it's just he's taken it to a different level, and he's earned a different level of respect, you know, from me, because it's just been. just impressive to watch those kids do that, grow into young men and to be leaders like that. And because you know when you see that in them, you know that they get it. You know that they have, and that's the great gift you get from playing the sport. Is at the end you understand it ain't about you. It's about your teammates, and it's about being a giver is the greatest thing you'll ever learn in your life. And so he's gotten that. He's just been, I mean, that guy's. Because you know, I see every day what those guys go through, and really the plight of a running back, man. If I was, that'd be great for a reporter just to follow that guy through an entire season, and how, because you know, I mean, you look at the NFL, those running backs lifespans less than 2 years. They've even devalued a lot of it in the recent years, as far as you know, devalued that position because of the lack of durability, and it's because of what they endure. And you know, he's been, and it's always good when kids, you know, you kind of, if you've been around people for a while, you know, you kind of say, okay, well, he's going to kind of here, and then when they do that, man, that really gets you, you know, gets to me, because I know that young man knows what it takes to be a champion in life. It's just his work ethic every day. You know, the first time when I say, hey, like I have a leadership council where I meet with the guys and stuff, and so does Billy, and have certain guys that I consult with on things, and guys will be voted captain or voted unit leaders, and the first thing they do is, you know, when people get in that situation, they think they need to give a speech or give a talk or complain about the food or complain about this or that. And then once they figure it out, it's really they understand the responsibility that comes along with that they have to set the standards when it comes to the values of the program. And when you see them get that and they understand that, they don't have to say anything. And you see how their players, that's what I tell them, man. I say, what's important, man, is not what you say about you, but what does your teammates say about you? You know, I tell coaches that all the time. You know, players know if you know what you're talking about. They know if you're organized. They know if you have a passion, and they know if you care about them. And that's what is unique about a team. And so we've just had some of the best leaders that I've been around in my career on this team, and they haven't said much. It's just been how they walk, their actions, and you know, doing a good job is not going to get you anywhere. That's what I tell them. I mean, ain't nobody look for anybody doing a good job, man. You got to do your best. You got to win. You got to do a great job, and more than anything, we talk about sometimes doing a great job is not your best, and so you gotta do your best, and we want to expect that every day, and then when you do that, you don't have to say much. Yeah.
Anything that makes it more special this time around than being Senior Day?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously, you know, I you know, for our Sun Devil Nation and our fans, I mean, this group of seniors have invested an awful lot, and I know they'll come out and make it a special night, and we need that. What that crowd brings, you know, when that crowd is on their feet and they're, you know, a little hostile and loud, it sure makes it a special place, and these seniors, these guys deserve it, and I'm looking forward to a great Saturday. All right, thank you.